You want the bag, George?
He does.
Nah. No bags for me. Generation. Wow. Well, I gave her all the permanent stuff to Virginia. She was going to tell you this is my 20th anniversary performing with David Amram.
Wow.
Thank you for all your years with us. I'd say it's about 16 years working with Ron. I went down to Insomniac, I think 2004, settled in Louisville. And then he pulled in some people from Iceland and turned it into a Viking hillbilly Insomniac. I finally did that in Bauer Poetry Club in New York City. So we go back a ways. I want to thank Deborah for taking this great concept, and, which goes back a number of years, 2008, the first time I was at the festival, and turning it into, a real reputable operation. So she's done a remarkable job with it. Long may it wave. Long may it wave. Thank you. I got 3 poems for you. I counted 1, 2, 3, so I'll do 3. You know, I like to remember people and circumstances wherever I go. And I did read a little bit about this Farmington River, originally called the Tekshe-Sipa River, which means the Tekshe people, the Manaska people who lived here. This river bows all the way down south and comes back up and dumps into the Connecticut River. So the Sipa, I think, means a bow. And the Manaska people lived here very happily until one year there was a fight between somebody from the Manaska people and Dutch settlers. There was also English settlers. He burned up all this guy's tar, and so the civil authorities, European civil authorities, fined the Manaska such an incredible sum of money that the only way they could pay was to deed off all this land to the Dutch and to move out. So I want to remember them and their loss of this beautiful old territory. Also, small detail which many of you from Connecticut probably know, but otherwise might not know, just up the road. Martin Luther King Jr., in order to pay for his way through college, 1942 to 47, came to here in summers and used to work in tobacco. He used to crop tobacco on this riverbed. So 2 historical points I want to mention. So, and then also, since we're all moving up the ladder as poets, we've lost 2 poets from the Beat generation, the Beat constellation. I'm going to read 2 poems for each of one of those people we lost recently. The first one's called I Am Sorry, Diane DePrima. Okay, kick it. I'm sorry, Diane DePrima, there was no revolution. We cleaned things up just about enough to carry on. We forgot your necessary guns and Buddha. The revolution of the body and heart was no match for clean sheets and prosperity. We brought down the man. We filled the lakes up with rainbow trout. We unpolluted the sky, closed the factories, gentrified the Lower East Side. I think it was Rockefeller uncovered the Sawmill River Parkway. Have you seen it sparkling in the autumn sun? We filled our gas tanks and bank accounts and ran off to Cancun. Into the mouths of our children, we poured laughter, fireworks, poetry, college degrees. We forgot about our bathtubs filling up with your grandpa's Marxism and coal. The life-preserving waters of Sacco and Vanzetti went down the drain, escaped us. We put aside your revolutionary letters and let our cup runneth over with patriotism and football, craft beer. Yeah, we let the old sins back in. Success for the many, fuck all for the few. Until the few became the many. Now it's fuck all for the many. Except the fat cats and their plastic wives in golf carts, country clubs, private towers, all the cleanup we've done. It's about to get undone. Reach for the sky, the privileged few are on high. Protected by their trolls and their goons, and the rest of us hanging around the streets to fool and to fuel. And it's 10 p.m. as three drunks crossing Church Street in New York City, pulling on a young girl's hijab and shouting, Trump, 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 and the blood in their eyes, and in the blood of the eyes of the people, and the anger in their mouths is for each other, not for the oppressors. Just the way they like it. And where is the precious seed of your revolution now, Diane DePrimo? When we really need it. Thank you. And for Jack Hirschman, who we just lost a couple weeks ago. I wasn't going to read this. I thought Andy
we got to get David down then.
He's got some
put it up there.
personal poems, but I haven't seen him so. Cara Jack. He used to address all his notes to me, Cara Jack, because he spent a lot of time in Italy. And sometimes he'd slip into Italian when he would write to you. Yeah. Jack Hirschman, December 13th, 1933, August 22nd, 2021. Lingering somewhere between heaven and earth this day, earth you adored. Earth you adored, and the people closest to it, like the Pacific salt mist among the enormous sequoias, adore the earth. Like deep ocean bank of fog, spilling over every ridge, picking up center sagebrush and eucalyptus grove as it goes. It pours into hidden valleys. It overwhelms the Presidio. It rises up from the embrace of Kalakapu and the sweet cunnilingus of material existence, but it lingers, and you just can't quit her, can you, Cara Jack? Old friend of the people.
He's turning it down.
Camarado of Skid Row corners and goofy kids in the Bronx. The dreamers dream left curves out of this crazy dungeon called capitalism, and outriders and mutineers in the musty book stacks of San Francisco, their brains on fire. Therefore, while you are still within hearing in the cool exhaustion of your last breath, hovering over this tent, perhaps sounding out your last hurricane and the fault lines of California in slumber and the hill fires burning all around you, I call to your spirit as it rises. Your spirit, Cara Jack, which yet lingers with love for the world, because it is the world. It is the world, as much as it lingers for the heaven that is in it. You who gathered up the quarrelsome people of the world, divided them up into 12 equal tribes from a corner table at Spence. You with your face like flames on the cover of El Chocolate, calling out to the masses. You and your all-night writing chamber who sent your poems out into the world like well-trained children. Like the flocks you dreamed you could bring into existence and seed the cloud banks with over Mount Tamalpais. Or graze in the methadone fields of Potrero Hill. Or take up arms like the bones of the dead against the modern trees and wield them like swords and not break down. One with the Venceramos Brigade, sensing the pot of rage in the slums of Peru, wielding a stone sickle among the Nahuatl, harvesting maize. One with the Aztec eagle warrior, with your stubborn jaw and your obsidian eyes, consecrated to perpetual class war. One with the Black Panther and the ever-emerging new class of impoverished and homeless people. And the front line is everywhere, Jack. And you are not gone, Jack. You are manning the barricades, and the front line is everywhere. And Cara Jack, you are with us, leaning against a publishing house window on Sacramento Street, waiting for the number one to take you over the hill. Tossing leaflets and flowers and revolutionary translations to the beloved. The front line is everywhere. And you are outside Cafe Trieste, cradling the big blue body of Dancing Dave, all of 35 forever, and beautiful, and beautiful, and gone, whispering arcanes into his holy dead ear, as if the megaphone is one that can amplify the sad, prophetic voice of revolutionary poetry forever, for all the world to hear. Jack Person. Thank you, David. What's that word? What's that phrase? Thumping the beat. Thumping the beat. We're all thumping the beat. Took that out of your poems. This is hauling coal in paradise. It's for coal miners, especially in Kentucky and Pennsylvania, but other places as well. And I picked this because of that. Hauling coal in paradise. You demanded it of us. You shaped our tongue to work it thus. This is our language. We know no other. Being obedient, hard-working Americans and patriotic, you laid it on us with jingles and charms. You threatened, denied, cajoled, you and your agents. You hooked us with it. You pulled us in. You caged us, delivered us wholesale. Filled our nostrils with it, like exotic spices, like exotic prey. Coal. And for all that, not much of a price at all per head, but indoctrinated, ready to serve, with the expendable, with the necessary to make the machinery go. We the many, like so much fuel for the fire. In Kanawha Valley, in Allegheny Hill, under the green Irish Sea, deep along the snaky Ruhr Valley, up on the vast upper Silesian fields of Poland, soft as peat or hard as anthracite, clothed in wool or animal furs, this rosary of sweat and bone, this meager coin, this material religion of black cloud rising. We, the servants, the submissive backbone of a nation, we the consumed and the damned. And it was like a book of common prayer. And the machine beckoned and we came running, and the electricity generated, and the engine ran. And we ran too, till we coughed to a halt at the end of the day. Used up another day of mortal toil, exhausted, set aside. We the living, drunk deep of the bitter concoction. We the living, ruined with alcohol and coke fumes, madnesses, perils of work, resistance useless, resentment a punishable offense. We licking our wounds and laid up in our beds, looking out at the stars, dumb, honest, loyal, human animals, wondering, our Father who art in heaven above all other gods, brilliant and remote, and thus made in your image, why have you ignored our plight? Why have you abandoned us to this, the wounded in paradise? When you go about, the dead, the dying, mounting up. No answer. No answer. It was all we were told to do. It was all we knew. And now it will all go away. The rust of oil cans cast aside. The blackened lungs of women, men of true service, cast aside. We who once upon a time hauled coal in paradise. Thank you all.